Good day, Crime Talk aficionados, and happy Thanksgiving. We all have something to be thankful for. Well, and the one thing that I can guarantee you is that you are thankful that you have not made the Crime Talk Dumb Criminal of the Week, either as a contestant or a winner. But we thought it'd be a nice little recap, go down memory lane, and be thankful for who we are not. So in this particular case, let's take a look at some of our dumb criminals. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Our dumb criminal of the week contestant once again comes from Florida, and this gentleman's name is Joseph Zack. And Joseph Zack was being pulled over for making what they refer to as furtive movements. That's a fancy word for suspicious or unusual movements. And ultimately, the police officers pulled him over, and the police thought that Mr. Zack was attempting to discard something from the vehicle. Ultimately, what happened was Mr. Zack was trying to conceal a beer can, and which led to a subsequent search of the vehicle, whereupon they found a glass crack pipe and a clear baggie with white residue in it, which tested positive for crack cocaine. Is crack cocaine coming back in Florida or something? It kind of went away there for a while, I guess, but who knows? Anyway, when the police asked Mr. Zack about the suspected crack cocaine found on him, he denied ownership of it and said, quote, "The police or the wind must have placed it there," end quote. Mr. Zack was promptly arrested on multiple charges and is facing bond. Based upon a very non-scientific poll created by both myself and Kyle, the producer, we have decided that the winner for the Dumb Criminal of the Week is the Brick Burglars. Well, we're not really sure if they're burglars or just vandalizing something, but man, can that guy throw that rock. Next on the docket, we have our contestant for today for the Dumb Criminal of the Week. In this particular case, another Halloween reveler dressed as Jesus punched a cop in San Diego. In fact, he sucker punched that cop in San Diego. The male suspect, a.k.a. Jesus, apparently walked up to the police officers who were arresting another individual who had been kicked out of the bar where Jesus apparently was, and Jesus sucker punched the officer. This is another example of what would Jesus do. I don't think sucker punching a cop is one of them. Next on the docket, the contestant for the Dumb Criminal of the Week. And our contestant today is a gentleman by the name of David Kalb, and he is from Pennsylvania. And apparently Mr. Kalb got locked out of his apartment. So he said, what am I going to do next? I got locked out of my apartment. He goes down to a buddy's door and knocks on the friend's door, who apparently is not home or somehow makes a disturbance, where the police are called. Mr. Kalb tells the police that he lost his key and he would like to get in, but that his friend has a key. So somehow they get the key from the friend's apartment. Mr. Kalb then invites the police upstairs to help him look for the key. What Mr. Kalb forgot to do was to hide his marijuana, his mushrooms, and his mason jars full of ingredients to make psychedelic mushrooms. Needless to say, Mr. Kalb was promptly arrested for manufacturing of psychedelic mushrooms. Now, what's even better is I think this mugshot clearly shows that Mr. Kalb did not grasp the severity of the situation, and perhaps Mr. Kalb should not use so many mushrooms. We'll see if he still has that smiling face when these proceedings continue. However, would you take a look at this lad? Wow, look at that haircut. Now, he's not going to get any awards, but maybe if he calls me, if he shoots me an email, we may give him a Crime Talk mug simply for having a haircut that bold and wearing it to court. Look at that style. Nothing says, look, I think I'm Batman. Look, I may be incompetent, than that haircut right there. So he may not get an award, he may not get a mug, but if he calls, I'll probably give him one anyway, simply because, well, I can. Next contestant for the Dumb Criminal of the Week is actually a police officer. And this police officer went to a Halloween party dressed as a clown. Looks like some sort of insane clown posse kind of get up here. Carino Salgado was arrested on misdemeanor charges after allegedly slapping a fellow officer at a Halloween party. Officer Salgado, in her non-police attire, was trying to get into a bar, and an on-duty police officer said that she was not able to come to the bar because she was apparently intoxicated. Miss Salgado then tried to get into the bar, and the police officer tried to stop her. That's when Officer/Clown Salgado became aggressive and actually struck the other officer in the face with an open hand. Officer/Clown Salgado was charged and arrested for resisting and obstructing and battery of an officer, as well as criminal trespass. She received a personal recognizance bond, and since this is in the city of Chicago, I'm sure she can raise the name of Jesse Smollett and say, wow, this really isn't that big of a deal. It's just police officers after all. We're all just having a good time. Can't we just let this go away? So we'll try to follow and see what happens to Officer Clown Salgado, if she receives a Jesse Smollett, or whether she will in fact be punished. Our daily contestant for the Dumb Criminal of the Week. And this contestant comes to us from Wisconsin. Where's my extra cheese? This unidentified man in Wisconsin goes to a Pizza Hut, orders a personal pan pizza, and requests extra cheese. He receives his pizza, goes outside or leaves, and comes back about 5 minutes later with his girlfriend, who say that the cheese pizza doesn't have enough extra cheese. The employees at Pizza Hut state, I could make you a new one, but basically we measure the cheese, and so the extra cheese is still going to be the same amount whether I make you a new one again. This unidentified Wisconsin man at this point becomes enraged, starts yelling, enough to the point where the employees ultimately call the police. The unsatisfied customer leaves with his girlfriend. When the police arrive, he is gone. This unidentified man is contacted by the police. He denies threatening anybody. He denies raising his voice in any way. He was just simply upset by the cheese pizza being insufficient in quantity of extra cheese. And he also uttered some words about being concerned that the Pizza Hut employees would spit in his food, which is why he rejected the extra pizza and threw away the original insufficient pizza. So now this gentleman gets to go to court for disorderly conduct, has to probably retain an attorney to defend himself because he couldn't just let the pizza go. This unidentified Wisconsin man is our Dumb Criminal of the Day contestant for the ultimate prize at the end of the week. But the moral of this particular story is, let it go. Not everything has to be a war. Not every altercation do you have to burn the house down. Maybe just kick in the door a little bit every now and then, or just let it go. It's a cheese pizza. Let it go. Next on the docket, we have our Dumb Criminal of the Week. Now, he still appears to be unidentified. Now, our unidentified Dumb Criminal of the Week contestant is accused of breaking into the Twin City Coin Laundromat. He's accused of stealing 15 pounds of change and damaging a coin dispenser totaling about $1,300 in damages. Now, the reason why this guy is getting some notoriety is the shirt that he has on. The shirt says it's not a crime unless you get caught. And so obviously people are thinking that's funny, so let's help everybody find this assailant. Now, Yes, okay, I get it. That's funny. Haha. It's only a crime unless you get caught. No, 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 no. It's only a crime if they can prove it. So this gentleman needs to get his T-shirts revamped and revised so that it states reality under the law. You're only guilty if they can prove it. So our contestant today, and thanks for playing along, John Picard, 52, from Florida, who was pulled over for erratic driving. And when he was pulled over, he basically asked the cop for a pass because he said, I'm running a little late because, well, I was having an extramarital tryst and I need to get home so I don't get in trouble. The police officers did not give Mr. Picard a pass, and in fact, he was busted and arrested. And of course, what do they find in his shirt pocket when they're booking him in? Yes, that's right, drugs. Okay, and what does Mr. Picard do? Does he deny it? Does he remain silent? Does he say, "Hey, bro, that's not my shirt"? Because they have to prove knowledge, right? But if he's borrowed somebody's shirt, how does he know it's there, right? Joke. Every defense attorney has heard the "that ain't my pants" defense, okay? Some of us have even run that defense, okay? Doesn't work very well. And so Mr. Picard, not only does he have to deal with his traffic issue now he has to deal with possession of a controlled substance, which is a felony, all because he was having his extramarital tryst. So I'm sure Mr. Picard's wife came and bonded him out, unaware of all of the circumstances surrounding it, but I'm sure it was an unpleasant ride home with Mr. Picard and his wife. I once had a situation where a client retained me. His wife picked me, hired me. I go down, meet him at the jail. This was on a weekend, and we're heading out, and the wife didn't seem too particularly concerned about her husband, thinking he could probably find his own transportation home. I believe she waited for him. It was going to be an uncomfortable ride. No. What was she more concerned with? Yes, she was more concerned with whether it would be possible if we could have access to the car so that she could retrieve the baby seat so that the baby could be properly secured in the car. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that man on that drive home. That was going to be awkward.